Alrighty, sweet. You know, evil people usually say that about themselves. Alright, guys. The way we never tuned in, yeah. Alright, guys. Welcome back to Broken Sword. The music feels really muted. Oh my! I need to get new headphones, man. Hold on, guys. Daddy Random needs to get himself some new headphones. Anyway, continue. Why have I got my ear out? Oh, that's right. We're going to talk to Moo.
Excuse me.
What do you want now?
I missed the color-coded subtitles. One would say, La Who, the Her.
What do you suppose this tool is used for, Sergeant Moo?
It looks like something an obstetrician would use, monsieur.
It was with tools like this that the clown made his escape.
I don't understand.
He opened up the hole and disappeared into the bowels of the earth.
If you say so, monsieur.
I found this red nose in the sewer.
What were you doing down there?
Fishing for clues. That's where the clown went.
You still insist you saw a clown, monsieur?
Of course. And this novelty nose proves it.
It will take more than a plastic proboscis to convince Inspector Rousseau.
You don't want this as evidence, then?
Certainly not, monsieur.
Are you sure you don't want this false nose?
Don't try my patience, monsieur.
Did I show you my tool, Sergeant?
Yes, monsieur. Unfortunately, you did.
Unfortunately, you did.
Do you recognize this dirty tissue?
No, monsieur, I do not.
I found it in the sewer.
Perhaps it would be better if you put it back there.
No way! This could be an important clue.
If you say so, monsieur.
Perhaps you should put it back there.
Do you recognize this dirty tissue?
I told you, no, monsieur.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
This man looks nothing like a clown.
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing to link this man with the killing.
Nothing? Look at those murderous eyes.
Hardly likely to get him convicted.
I think I just saw Cinderella get turned into a zombie. Now, guys watching the VODs, you will have no idea what happened, but over on you now,
Do you recognize the man in this
It happened.
photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
This man looks nothing like a clown.
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing to link this man with the killing.
Nothing?
oh, what? I've already heard this.
Would you like to shake my hand, Sergeant?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur. The gesture could be misconstrued.
Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his left cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Unfortunately.
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur. Stobart is here to see you, monsieur.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Yo, anyone pumped for Broken
Very
Sword
well.
6?
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Mr. Stobart. My mind is a well-ordered faculty. A mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
Eh bien, if you called about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been closed. But I've been taken off the case.
What about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
Bro. Instant cover up.
What do you make of this, Rosso?
It is a tool for gaining access to sewers.
Sewer Jacques, as one might say.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
I'd imagine it means you have not given up your pursuit of the clown.
You're absolutely right. I found this tissue in the sewer.
It would have been best if you'd left it there.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No.
It's the face of a killer.
The man who bombed the cafe?
The photograph was taken soon after the explosion. He'd escaped through the sewers, leaving a trail of clues behind him.
Circumstantial evidence, Stobbard. None of it proves a thing.
Did I show you this photograph?
Oui? You're still convinced he is the killer?
Absolutely.
Do you know what's Cafe Blows Up Everyone pretends? Yeah, 100%. But here's the craziest part of this, is Rosso knows he's the killer. Like, that's the craziest part here. Are you still convinced he's the killer? Yes, I might have to get this guy fucking killed. Mr. Stobbart,
Would you care to shake my hand, Inspector?
Please don't be offended if I decline your offer, Stobbard. The palms of my hands are particularly sensitive.
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
No, you must forget the business of the clown completely. Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobbard.
Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
Whoa, what?
I heard that the bomb victim's name was Plantar.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the Treasury, wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been taken off the case.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
Wow. Bro, he's in so deep, it's crazy.
What was that psycho detective business you did in the cafe?
It is my theory that the passions evoked in violent crimes create ripples in the
You're
ether.
right.
Invisible to all but the possessor of a highly developed and receptive mind.
I'm impressed. Can you bend spoons, too?
I didn't think a man of your obvious intelligence would stoop to mockery.
I'm not mocking. I've had personal experience of the power of the mind. I used to get ignored at parties until I read a book that changed my life.
Really? What was it called?
Hypnotism for Fun and Profit. He looked at me as if I'd farted at a funeral.
The power of mesmerism is a rare gift, not a party trick.
You know, I used to think hypnotism was total bullshit. But I went and saw a hypnotherapist, and I sat on their couch, and then it was the end of the session. And I was like, what the fuck took place here? I was like, okay. Holy shit. This is fucking actually scary. She's like, so do you want to book in another session? And I was like, yeah, definitely. And I never did.
You're not going to try any of that psychic interrogation
Ever
on me,
again.
are you?
Do you find
I was
the
like, girl,
thought
you
of
could have
my
funded my bum
probing
piece for all I know.
distasteful?
There's no way I'm
Let's
coming
just
back
say
here.
I'd rather you didn't. I've got more doubts than doubting Thomas when it comes to mysticism.
Too bad. I think you would make an interesting subject under controlled regression.
The day I let anyone mess with my mind hasn't dawned yet. So long, Inspector.
Yeah, she was talking all this random bullshit to me, and I was like, this is the most boring conversation I think I've ever had. And then it was the end of the session, and there's a noticeable gap of time that I don't have access to. And I'm just like, ah.
It was Rosso's sidekick, Sergeant Moo.
Okay. Dude, this game is like real pretty. I love it. It looks even more like an animated film. Salah Adin 1345. Oh, thanks, Mick.
Hello, Kula.
It's George. I've been to see the costume seller at the Risée du Monde.
Why don't you come over and tell me about it?
Okay.
This sounded like, come here and fuck my friend's brains out, George. Then Nico asked me to come over, and the rest was history. Oh, hang on. Before I go to Rougerie, there's a mystical conversation by the areas.
The muscular workman wore a morose expression, like a silent warning to leave him to get on with his job. Hi.
You're the guy who gave me the tip, aren't you?
Huh?
The racehorse, Salahedin.
Oh, yeah, but
I put every franc I had on that horse.
listen,
My lifetime savings, next month's rent, everything.
Oh, God.
She won by 3 lengths. I'm a rich man.
Call me Lucky George, the punter's friend. So how come you're still here?
I'm not going to let my newfound wealth change me, not one bit. I bought this hole, fittings and all. Now I can come and go as I please. No more clocking on or completion schedules. No foreman breathing down my neck. Thanks to you, I've found paradise.
I'm getting a mushy feeling in my chest. But not half as mushy as your head.
What do you want now?
I borrowed this tool from you while you were gone.
Keep it. I can afford to buy a new set now.
What do you make of this clown's nose?
It would be more amusing if you were wearing it.
Do you recognize
Yeah,
this
100%.
Certainly not.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
Would you like to shake hands with me?
No, I wouldn't. One of the real pleasures of being rich is not having to be polite.
I gotta go.
Don't let me keep you.
Hello again.
Yes, Inspector.
It's interesting you say that, because the audio's from the original game.
Did I show you my tool?
Oui, monsieur. Just like mine. Except that it is much smaller.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, I do. It's that villain I told you about.
I have to be going.
Good luck, Inspector. I
hope
hope
you
you
get
catch
that
that killer
soon.
soon.
Oh, that's not my memory of him at all. But this is literally the audio from the original game. They haven't re-recorded it. There are new lines though. Those were not some of them. I played this game religiously. Like, Rougerie. Well, hey, DJ. Over the stream. DJ Juavo. DJ Juavo. DJ Juavo. How are you, DJ? Hola.
Salut, George. What news?
How are you?
I've been to the costume shop.
I'm pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, I like it. What are you supposed to be?
I didn't hire a costume. These are my clothes and you know it.
Did you ask about the clown?
Yeah. He used the name Khan. He hired 2 costumes, the clown and a pixie.
Then we're one jump ahead of him.
How do you make that out?
He probably plans to use the pixie suit next time he kills.
He sure
Oh,
does.
God, don't let it be me. I don't deserve to die at the hands of a pixie.
Don't be silly, George. That won't happen.
Oh, no?
No, because every time you see a pixie, you're going to run like hell.
What are you doing to help trace the killer clown?
Research, George.
Yeah? You have a copy of the clown's yearbook?
I have a telephone and lots of contacts.
Oh, well, did you find anything useful?
Not yet. I'm employing my first and most
George,
useful
it's
weapon.
stuff like this
What's
is
that?
why she leaves you
Patience.
because your dad
Oh,
dies.
I've heard of that. Isn't it a substitute for decisive thinking? Have you found out any more about the murders?
Well, it may be nothing, but both the clown's victims visited Paris earlier this year.
When?
The second week of July. They were both here at the same time.
Did they meet?
I don't know, but I can't imagine it was coincidence.
Interesting.
The guy at the novelty shop gave me this.
What is it?
A hand buzzer. You put it in your hand and give people electric shocks.
Why?
It's a gag. A practical joke.
If you ever use it on me, I'll break your arm.
Okay. I get the picture.
Oh, one thing though, they took out the line where George kisses Nico on the train. They talked about it and he was just like, I just think in 2024 we shouldn't have this in the game. And I was like, Cecil, my guy, why?
Do you want this photograph back?
No, you keep it. I can always make another print.
Okay, I need to go find more evidence, I guess.
May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
It's Todrick time, right?
Hello? Who is this?
Mr. Todrick?
Oh, it's you again. What now?
The man
I'm
I'm
going to
looking
show you
for
this photo
is called
through a 90s
Khan.
telephone.
He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know.
Thanks
now
for
I've
nothing,
got you,
Todrick.
Mr. Clown. Now we're getting somewhere. Do you know the Hotel Ubu?
The Ubu? Yes, I do.
That's where the clown stayed.
Good work, George.
See you later.
Where are you going now?
I could go hang out at the Hotel Ubu.
Watch out for Khan, George.
Don't worry, I will.
I am Khan. Din, din, din. Khan! Alright, let's go. Apartment looking nice in HD. Yeah, for sure. She isn't just a hat. Beautiful time. It's a beautiful day when you've got a stinky poo. It's a beautiful. Boom, boom, boom. That's what you two were singing about, eh? When you've got a stinky poo, a fucking beautiful day.
The man looked like an amiable Bigfoot. The guy looked just like a weasel. Excuse me.
Yeah?
George kills you in Broken Sword 3. Does anybody remember that when George straight up kills fucking Flap? Like, I thought he dies at the end of 1 when George punches him out of that door, but like, oh, is it Khan? No, Khan hits him at the door, eh? But like, George straight up kills this motherfucker in 3. I was like, that's insane.
What do these... Oh, never mind. Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
Nope.
Do you recognize this tissue? Think carefully now.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
I'm gonna have to hurry you.
ooh.
Time's up, so I'll tell you. It's a used tissue with a liberal dump of Bestheimer's number 12.
If you say so.
You don't recall this tissue, do you?
Nah.
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No.
Hey
I
guys, do we
simply asked
kill
if you
George
recognize
as a
him.
joke? Like
Okay,
save
then.
and kill him?
Nope, I don't.
Chat's gonna have to decide.
Shake my hand.
Nah.
Oh, rats. Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
I've seen
Okay.
daytime television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hurt.
That figures.
Custard pies, close pipe down
That's what I was thinking.
then
I really
smack,
do want to see
a
them
plank in the
die.
kisser.
I'll save it, and we'll because the death scene's only like a minute long. It's not that long.
You ever meet a guy called Plantow?
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's.
What the fuck, George? That was unnecessarily
Do
dark.
you happen to know a guy named Khan?
That ain't nobody I know.
I'm sorry to be a burden on your brain.
Bro.
See you later.
Not if you see me first.
Excuse me.
The line is not if I see you first.
Yes?
What does this tool suggest to you?
Hard labor.
Why is it in American English?
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
No.
Hey, the devs behind Wukong? This is what subtitles should look like in a 4K game.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Are you serious?
Oh, yes. Take a good look at the substance it's smeared with.
You are sick. Very sick.
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
No, I never saw it.
Will you shake my hand?
Are you joking? Who knows where it has been?
Have you heard of a guy called Plantow?
Why is the Italian
No.
mafia
That name means
working
nothing.
for the
to me.
Templars? Is that explained?
I'm looking
By the
for
Sicilian
a clown.
mafias?
Are you trying
Or
to be
Sicilians?
funny?
I should not have
No,
called
I
them
really
Italian.
am looking
I'm
for
so
a
sorry.
clown.
There are no clowns here except you.
Bro, sick burn.
Do you know a man by the name of Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and
I told you. I don't know it.
forget it.
Yo, George, in a couple of years, you'll hold on to this guy's undies for some reason.
I recognize the guy. It was the Nobel Prize winner from the country whose name I couldn't pronounce.
Don't worry, George. Your noble sacrifice of holding his undies, he kills himself to save you. I think it's a fair trade, right? Hold one man's
Excuse me.
undies.
Didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bro, I'm gonna blow your minds. You ultra know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Have you any idea what this tool might be used for?
I cannot guess.
Would it mean anything if I told you it was for lifting drain covers?
Such technology fills me with wonder.
Do you recognize... May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there.
It's funny because these guys become literal friends.
What does this clown's nose suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
What about the mimes? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
Sounds like heaven. You don't care for clowns, do you?
They belong in the circus, like fleas and bearded women.
Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Hey, Ninikos.
Do you
Thank you
know a
very
guy
much.
called Plantow?
What do you
I
hashtag
don't know
Ninikos?
anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have. Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England, Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
That's hot out, bro.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. This is a photo of Khan, right?
That is just one of the names by which he is known.
Whoa. Like, in full context, because we know he's actually a Templar, that's so multi-layered. It is but one of the names that he is known. Bro, cuz, my guy, you are a Templar.
What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
What the hell? He's literally giving away this information. Like, what the? He is an enemy of my people. And by that I mean, whoa, everybody hashtag Nanny Calls. Thank you so much. Dang it, I wish I had changed it over. Man, I forget how good this music is.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Bro, he is crazy giving away so much information. I am going to tell you straight up.
In the ornate booth was the most elegant public telephone I'd ever seen. The figure of a sexless youth was frozen in mid-skip with a silly grin on its stone lips.
That line has stuck with me my whole life because like I was a little kid and it was like, he said sexless.
It was a magnificent old Steinway piano. I figured the lady at the keys wouldn't appreciate a duet with a musical illiterate like me.
Wow. Okay, cool. We found another one of the dialogues that were missing from the original. Dun, 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 dun.
Hanging from a brass hook was a key and a plastic tag.
Monsieur.
Excusez-moi,
No,
monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No way. The clerk wore a disdainful expression like he'd been born with it. It was the register of guests staying at the hotel. There was no one registered under the name of Khan. If the killer was staying here, he'd used a different pseudonym. I want some information.
Who are you, the police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Well.
What do you make of this tool?
Stunning, monsieur. I bet you handle it like a professional.
Do you recognize this red nose?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is. What do you make of this tissue?
You have shown me that already, monsieur.
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, shake my hand.
I have already explained why I would rather not.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so.
Dang, George, that was brutal. You say so.
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur.
No,
Perhaps
monsieur.
you would care to check the register.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his left cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not,
Vraiment.
but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar.
Damn, George.
Do you know a man named Plantau?
No, monsieur.
About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
Can you tell me which room the man in the photograph has taken?
Oh, no, monsieur. That information is confidential.
Would it make a difference if I told you the guy in the photo was a murderer?
We are accustomed to catering for celebrities, monsieur. Movie stars, politicians, royalty, sporting personalities, they all stay here.
Did I show you this photograph?
Yes, you did, monsieur.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
I'm glad George just stops talking to them when he's finished. Like, that's a really good quality of life change. But also, how do I save you? Save.
The woman was obviously English. She had all the qualities of Boadicea, Elizabeth I, and Margaret Thatcher rolled into one. It wasn't a pretty sight.
Yeah, 100%, Mac.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment, I thought. But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're
Hey,
an
welcome.
honest-to-God
Thanks for becoming a
aristocrat?
fan. Puffin
Oh, I
photo.
don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may
was
be
just trying to
bruised,
get
but
it
the
in.
flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to
Yeah,
speak.
she's awesome.
You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
That is fucking amazing. How did they get away with that shit, man?
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organizes fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
She's so sex crazed, it's amazing. And I love how she's like, when you meet her again, and it's like Broken Sword 5? And she's like completely naked, and George's like, oh, whoa, Lady Piermont. Oh, George! I'm gonna
Did you know
just
there's a gangster out front?
go.
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
Bro, you know, revisiting this game in HD for some reason is maybe like way more aware of how dirty this chick is. Like, she's dirty as fuck. What the hell?
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh no, it's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scouts on up?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
No, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
What killer?
It's a long story. Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. The wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Can you think of any use for this tool, ma'am?
Oh, I can think of someone I'd like to use it on.
Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Good heavens, are you trying to alarm me?
It's true. He uses the name Khan. Did I show you this false nose?
Yes, you did.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
Good God, no.
I just thought the smell might be familiar.
Please, darling, put it away. I'm no shrinking violet, but that object makes me feel quite queasy.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
Please, darling, not that again.
Would you like to shake my hand, ma'am?
Now, George, there's no need to be so formal. We met as tourists, and I want to keep it that way, despite the enormous social gulf between us.
I just couldn't bring myself to use the buzzer on this dear lady. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
Did I show you this photograph?
Yes, darling.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. You know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't.
Has Merlin returned to the hotel, even though I'm
If I could
standing
get in
right
there, I
next to
would.
the door?
And that's why you want the key.
Yes, ma'am.
I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case. But a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Follow me, George. Why is the head so enormous?
I say! You there! Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewelry for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Over to you, my dear.
There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin. It was the register of guests staying at the hotel. In the back of the office was a small safe with a combination lock.
Oh, I can only click on it when he goes away. Annoying.
The sign on the door read 21.
Bro, the new UI is awesome.
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key. It was a massive mahogany wardrobe. There was nothing in the wardrobe apart from
Mahogany.
the lingering smell of camphor.
Built from trees that are 700 feet tall and breathe fire.
A cabinet stood beside the bed. The cabinet was empty, but it smelt of onions. No kidding, it really did.
Fuck, bro, George, right now I think I might smell of onions. And I haven't eaten an onion in over a year. I love an elite assassin left his window open.
The cabinet had no drawers, just a single door.
100%.
The assassin had been too smart to leave
yeah, good
incriminating
point.
evidence beside his bed.
Got a bit of save, man. Oh, I am shattered. Okay, 2 o'clock, guys. We'll call it, because I am done.
It was the battered leather briefcase I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died.
I did not remember Plantar's briefcase being battered. Well, then of course you were registered as a top
I searched
supporter.
the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty. The bed was several times larger than the narrow cot I'd been given at the place I was staying.
George, do you find it fucking weird that we never visit the place that you're staying? Hey, DB Gussie, welcome to the stream.
The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits. The closet was a solid, impressive piece of antique furniture. The pants were newly long and pressed with immaculate creases. There was nothing in the pockets of the pants. The door led back into the hall, idiot.
Whoa, did you just call... Bro, George, come on, bro. Like, I think some of the jokes in this game are hilarious, but that was uncalled for. Like, you just called me an idiot. Fuck you. His pants look like CG.
I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
In the original, he comes in and swaps the pants for the same pants, right? No, I'm remembering that wrong. If it's the invite, Dana.
The pants matched the jacket which the killer had lost in Paris.
Oh, thanks for the... Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Dana. Guys, hashtag Dana.
I couldn't believe my luck when I found 2 items in the pockets of the pants. The first was an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. The second was a pass card which read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation. The matchbook bore a pattern of swirling color and the words, Club Alamut.
I played this game too often.
It was the card I'd found in the hotel bedroom. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation. Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has a million faces. Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can...
I got the key. Thanks for your help, ma'am. I found this matchbook in Merlin's bedroom.
It came from the Club Alamut. It might be useful to find out if that club is in Paris, George.
Yo, she's so clever.
Would you like to keep Merlin's pass as a memento?
No, darling. My broken heart is reminder enough.
Do you want this key?
No, thank you, darling.
Do you want this key?
No.
Would you like to keep Merlin?
No.
Weird. Some of these
I
glitch
have
out.
to go, ma'am.
What now, monsieur?
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that.
Yo, is anybody else like fully dead? I don't know what it is about today, but I am.
Hi,
gone.
ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
I have to.
Why do? Okay, do you know what? I'm gonna take you having a certain conversation with that guy.
What now, monsieur?
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats. Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
Does Nico help us?
Bonjour, couleur.
Hi, it's George. I have the address.
George, I
of the
can't
George
hear
Hotel.
you over there.
If you're going to pay him
Valen.
a visit, take care. Remember,
Valen.
that guy's a professional.
Thanks. I'll be fine.
Bro, I'm so looking forward to going to bed. Alright, cool. I'm saying that I really want to keep playing, but I am barely alive right now.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
I have to go, ma'am.
What the heck? What do I do now? I remember she tells him off for some reason.
What now?
Did I show you this pass?
Oui, monsieur.
Did I show you this pass?
Oui, monsieur.
Did I show...
Oui, monsieur.
Do you recognize this key?
That is the property of the Hotel Ubu.
Correct.
May I ask how it found its way from the little hook to your pocket?
Would you believe it was put there by a poltergeist?
No, monsieur. The hotel is regularly serviced by an exorcist. If we had a ghost, Father
Yo,
Fécond
thanks,
would
Dan.
have
Hey,
flushed
let's
it
take
out.
dinner.
I suppose you want the key back.
Not especialement. The room is vacant. Since you are so determined to conduct your little investigation, I won't stop you.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
Okay, I'm confused.
It was the card I'd found in the hotel bedroom. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation. Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Would you... I showed but he wouldn't buy it.
Oh,
He's too
shit, there we
scared.
go.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George.
I knew they were supposed to interact.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
Okay, time to die. We're going to real quick die, and then we're going to do the real thing. It won't take long. Menu, save game, Hotel Ubu, override. It's dying time, boys and girls.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Bro, do you know the director's cut you can't actually get George killed?
Is this what you're after,
It's
Guido?
so lame. The director's
See,
cut is the
that's
worst
see.
version of this game. It's
I
so
can
shit.
explain everything. Well, almost everything.
Too late. You're on your way to feed the fishes.
I'm allergic to fish. I break out in blotches when I eat tuna.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah, bye.
The door was locked.
Oh, they still haven't fixed that? Really? I can't believe they still haven't fixed that. Did you know that Maxi Boo, who's in the chat right now, is the one who figured out that we had to do this when we were growing up?
I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
Bro, I don't understand why he doesn't wrap it in something. I would have wrapped it in like the fucking bed sheet in the room and then chucked it down. He's like, take that 1,000-year-old manuscript. You're a good man, George. Oh, like chucked it inside with those pillows and chucked the pillow out.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hydrated. I want to drink some more. Which is not clever.
Hey,
'cause
knock
means
it
I have to
off.
wake up in
Get
the
off,
middle
you
of the night.
big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flat.
Bro, I've seen how strong George is in Broken Sword 3 onwards. I don't think he can break his arms. I mean, he literally kills you in Broken Sword 3, bro. I watched it happen. I was there. I made it happen!
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed.
Man doesn't even go to the gym.
I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out.
Man, we're zipping through this, guys. We're doing pretty alright. We'll be in Ireland in no time.
You're just not going to believe what
just
I
ultra
found.
Asian there.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
Because it's laughing while George is almost getting killed constantly.
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the U-boot.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantark?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Was Plantar a Templar who was
guys on the
defecting?
same horse.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades. This guy, named Hughes de Payen, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land.
Yeah.
Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive. But the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found.
Jeez. So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is
We
the
never
key.
actually meet his
You'd
accomplices.
better leave it
We
here
never
for
meet the other
safekeeping.
Hasashin.
Think about it,
It was
George.
kind of the last.
One guy's already died for it, as you said yourself. Besides, that parchment is fragile.
I probably
Okay,
should
okay,
trade
I'm
other
convinced.
Hasashin.
You
but
keep
I'm
hold
dead
of it.
now. Khan, probably.
I found this in the killer's room.
What is it, a credit card?
ID, Thomas Merlin, of the Gruber
Gruber
Electronics
Electronics
Corporation.
Never heard of him, or the company.
Probably a front.
Are you sure you've never heard of Thomas Merlin?
Positive.
I found this matchbook in the killer's hotel room. It's from the Club Alamut.
Never heard of it. Is there anything written inside it?
No, what were you expecting?
If this was a movie, there'd be a clue, a name or an address. That's no use. There aren't even any matches in it.
Oh well, I'll keep
I
it as a
love
souvenir.
that, bro, Charles. That's ruthless. Charles Cecil just making fun of contrivances.
Did I show you this matchbook?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
He's like, you know, in movies they just like write any bullshit in, and people. I'm like, yeah, but that's you're watching a movie, man. You know, you're not really there to like, you know.
I found Plantar's briefcase in the killer's hotel room. It was empty, of course. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
George, I don't want to be rude, but why in the actual fuck did you even mention that?
Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobino.
Yeah, he's also a creep.
Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far from it. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobino guy?
At the Krohn Museum. I'll give you the address.
Oh, weird. Okay.
There's a
That's
woman
much
looking at
better.
her reflection in a mirror.
That's much
but the
better.
reflection has 3 hideous faces.
It used to be this like
She reminds me of the wicked
indecipherable
queen in
icons.
Snow White.
She was the one who said,
Well, then
mirror,
I'm
mirror
sure.
on the wall, wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid, Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either. A knight with a crystal ball. Now, there's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
He's a lawyer.
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
Through my teachings, you will be enlightened. There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover. It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
I love when she's just like
boxes.
an archaeologist all of a sudden. Actually, I'm something of an archaeologist myself.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod. There's a woman, but...
Okay, it's Lobino time.
Maybe I'll check out the Krohn Museum.
I'm sure you'll find it useful.
I can't
George.
remember how to make Lobino appear. Because if you go to the Krohn Museum, he's only like sometimes there. Track down an assassin and uncover a medieval mystery. Actually, I am an assassin. I didn't want to have to brag here, guys. Look, I was trained by Monsieur Khan de Thomas Milan. Yeah, please. Ask me to bring out my. Yeah, I can't remember how to make him appear. Whoa, this looks way better.
It was an ancient Egyptian sarcophagus with a beautifully painted effigy of its owner on the lid. In the case was a spindly tripod, blackened with age and pitted with rust. It was identical to the tripod pictured on the manuscript. A notice identified it as 15th century from Western Ireland. It had been found in Loch Marne at the site of a Knights Templar preceptory. Ireland!
What's that?
This tripod was found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your voice down.
I'm sorry, I was excited.
Oh, we're already on our way to Ireland? Oh, shit.
As I reached toward the display case, a shrill piping filled the air. I froze.
You gotta go through the menu.
Tried to get myself together and act nonchalantly.
Eh, no. No, monsieur. No.
What's wrong?
You must not enter the exhibits.
I'm sorry.
Oh, whoa, no. Beautiful. That's beautiful. It's incredible, I've got to say. George with his like suggestion of a face. Yeah, as soon as we walked in here, I was like, whoa. This looks great.
The attendant had an air of self-importance and the kind of steely eyes that never seemed to blink. Pardon me,
Oui, monsieur?
are you Lobineau?
Oh, no. Fancy you mistaking me for him. No. I am the deputy custodian.
But Lobineau does work here.
Work? I wouldn't go so far as to call it that. He studies here most days, but as you can see for yourself, not today.
Can you give me any further information about the tripod?
Certainly, monsieur. It's infamous. That tripod, that belonged to John Dee.
What's the importance of John Dee's tripod?
Dee was the most famous escapologist of the 16th century. The Houdini of his time.
Don't you mean alchemist? Escapologists use ropes, chains, and handcuffs, not tripods.
Well, whatever he was, that is the tripod he used in his experiments.
What kind of experiments did John Dee perform with his tripod?
Oh, the usual. Didn't you study chemistry at school?
Yeah, but we skipped over thaumatology. Can I take a closer look at the tripod?
What? Get it out of the case? Ah, no! That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
How sophisticated?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir.
Not
a
the sausage.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John Dee at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the
That's
alphabet.
kinda cool.
Well, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Wasn't he an optometrist?
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you think if I studied art and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history?
At your age? Dream on.
Come on, George, that's a low blow, bro. I know people who have started late and done really well for themselves. I know a guy in his early 60s, and he didn't learn to read until he was in his 30s. And he's doing all right, eh? He's actually pretty high up in Wakakotahi.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar, though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park the... No. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar. Not like Monsieur Lobineau.
What does this tool mean to you?
That belongs in a museum.
Pardon?
It is a priceless historical artifact, if I am not mistaken.
No, it's a plain old tool for lifting drain covers. I showed you my tool, didn't I?
Oui, monsieur. Most impressive.
Do you recognize this red nose?
I don't think so.
What do you make of this tissue?
It is absolutely disgusting, monsieur.
That's so good, man.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. Is there any reason why I should?
I guess not. Would you like to shake my hand?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
Oh no, I don't frequent places like that.
Do you recognize this ID pass?
No.
Thanks for your help.
I love that he just ends it. It's so good.
The case contained a collection of rocks. They were all shapes and colors, but they were still rocks. Above them, a sign read, L'âge Paléolithique.
The Paleolithic era.
I tried to sneak my hand inside while the guard wasn't looking, but the case was locked. It was a large brass urn. It was a statue from ancient Egypt. Those old civilizations sure could teach us a few things about art and beauty.
And science, bro. There's stuff they could do we still don't know how to do.
The statue didn't deserve to be mauled by a Philistine like me. A metal rod attached to the wall was connected to the window. The case contained some fragments of pottery. They looked to me like broken flower pots. Above them, a sign read, L'âge Paléolithique. I tried to sneak my hand in. The case contained 2 rows of silver coins. Each coin on the lower row showed a portrait of a guy with a huge nose.
Probably Roman then.
I tried to raise the glass. I looked down at a collection of tools with wooden handles and tarnished metal blades. There were knives, chisels, and spikes fanned out in a semicircle. I guess there's always been a need for home improvement. I tried to sneak my hand inside while the guard wasn't. There was nothing in the urn.
Cool. Alright.
It was a tapestry of a lady, a lion, and a unicorn. If I'd had more time, I could have stared at it all day. Touching an object as rare and beautiful as that would have been the act of a barbarian. The totem pole looked distinctly out of place in the setting of the museum.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the person who thinks so.
Watch out! You will have that down on top of us!
It was a stone carving from ancient Egypt. I was no desecrator of tombs.
Okay. Would you say you're not a tomb raider?
The tripod was definitely the one on the manuscript. The Templar connection confirmed it. I was tempted to go to Ireland to check it out. Access to the side and rear of the museum building was blocked by a dense clump of bushes. A real macho guy would have plunged straight into the spiky, scratchy bushes. Not me. Through the grimy glass, I could see several large shapes in a gloomy room. What they were, I couldn't imagine. I considered smashing my fist through the pane, wrenching open the window, and vaulting triumphantly into the building. Then I thought, no, that's dumb. Besides, I might get hurt.
Oh, hey, whoa, hold up. That bush thing, I'm pretty certain has corrected interactions. I don't think that existed before. Hey guys, we're gonna fly to we're gonna go to the aeroport and we're gonna fly to Lochmarn, and then I am gonna call it a motherfucking night. I am tired. It didn't animate more people in the bus.
Several hours later, I arrived in Ireland, the Emerald Isle. I'd been lucky to get a bus from Dublin to the tiny village of Lochmarn. On the way out, the driver told me there was only one service a day.
George spends the night with a corpse here, right? He has to sleep in the room with a corpse? Like, bro, if they ain't fun, though, ain't no fucking way I'm sleeping in their room. Oh, you find a dead person? You're not. Fuck that. Alright. Wait. Alright, guys. Tomorrow might be Wukong. If it isn't, then it'll be nothing. I said it'll be Eating Chronicles, and then on Sunday will be more Broken Sword. So I'll catch you guys then. Peace. Hey, no problem. I'm really happy we're all the way in Ireland. We did it pretty quickly, guys. We did it. I think we did it faster than when I played the OG. Wait, peace, guys.